Wow, this is right from, I think, NBC, NSNBC. Listen to this.
I know there's no double jeopardy in this country, Paul, but is it possible for this case to go federal? Could a federal prosecutor pick this up?
It's possible.
Look at how ignorant these people are and how misguided they are. They want this to go federally. They don't want him dismissed. Ridiculous.
Possible, but typically we see those in civil rights cases, and this isn't a civil rights case. The truth is, this was a tough case for prosecutors because some of the state's own witnesses testified in favor.
These prosecutors were jerks. There should have been a mistrial, but the judge was smart enough not to call one.
Or their testimony advanced the government's case. One witness testified that the first person who Rittenhouse shot, a man named Rosenbaum, tried to grab Rittenhouse's gun. Another witness said that Mr. Rittenhouse shot a second person who was attacking him with a skateboard, and the third person who Mr. Rittenhouse shot was pointing a gun at him. So I think this will be a difficult case, whether the prosecution is state or federal.
What they are not saying is he was defending himself and trying to keep these people down, and they attacked him. They are personally trying to kill him and attack him. He was defending himself. He should have been acquitted, and thank God he was. What is said here in the last is, not only did the state fail us by not protecting the citizens and letting the riots and burns loot stuff and burn down offices and businesses, and but you've got corporation journalism failing us and pushing a wrong narrative, wanting to string this guy up and put him away for life. But you've got a jury, 12 people that stood up to all the harassment, all the threats, and they're not over yet, and said, no, we're not going to convict him on any of these 5 counts. There were 5 counts against him, and the unanimously said no on all 5 counts. Good for them, good for their integrity. May God bless them and protect them. The battles are severe. Either get our justice and our legal system back, or it's gone.
Because I think a lot of times gets lost in the details of the case and what witnesses are saying, and the Tumblr and pulling out the random names, etc.
Yeah.
You're saying on 2 fronts. One, the fact that Rittenhouse and others felt compelled to go up there and protect Kenosha, right?
Look at the crimes that were committed, and no other white people were arrested, no other black people were arrested, no other rioters were arrested for the damage they were doing night after night in Kenosha. And the media was watching it and encouraging it. They're criminals too.
Stores and the shopkeepers, all that, because of a failure
Right,
of
they
the
were
government up there. Local, and then number 2 was citizen journalists like Drew Hernandez, The Real America's Voice, the Daily Caller people, others that went up there and actually did the tough job of citizen journalism, which Andrew Breitbart was such a big proponent of. So you're saying there are 2 cases, citizens up there to protect lives and property because of government failure to do it, and to really clamp down on the riots that get out of control every night there. And then it's also citizens journalism really broke the case here, whereas the corporate media was arguing the exact opposite.
Right, and honestly, Steve, there's a third front here because you've got, 12 citizens, again, in that room making the final decision here, which was unanimous, of course. 12 citizens rejected the mainstream media narrative, the Joe Biden narrative, the regime narrative, the CNN, MSNBC, industrial complex narrative, and they said, you know what? We've heard their narrative. We know what they're going to do. We know what they're going to say, but we've seen the truth. We've seen it with our own eyes. And the minute we've seen that, we cannot unsee it. And that we have, and you always talk about this, Steve, human agency. Because when you give people the truth, when you give them the opportunity to evaluate the evidence for themselves, to sift the truth from the lies and the deceit, you have a situation here where the people came out on the side of the truth, on the side of justice. And there's nothing this regime can do about it, because it turns out that the American people still are the American people.
Amen. Amen. What a mess. These battles are not over. They're just beginning, and they may get more severe before they get better. God bless the honest jurors. God bless the honest news people that are independent. They're reporting this. God help us to control the corporate media and their corruption, put the government back in its place, and gain back our freedoms. In the sacred name of Jesus Christ, amen.